Hi, this is Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, here to fix you and help you grow your property and your business affairs to the next level. So if you're looking for knowledge and insights about how to get involved in property, solve your problems about scalability in your property business, then do watch our 20-minute clips. We've taken them from hundreds and, well, thousands of videos that we've taken over the last 6 months, and we've broken them into simple chunks which can make them useful for you. So do watch and do subscribe to our YouTube channel underneath as well.
Forget about the insurance claim, because obviously, they made an issue about it. What happens? What is it that's ticking in your inner side? What happens?
It was like time slowed down. It's like as the car was going round, and I was thinking, wow, I could die here. And I called in the angels for protection. It was like I could die, but what really sort of came to me in that moment was that it's okay if I do, because like, it's my belief that we're going home, our consciousness lives on, it never ever dies, and we're here in these temporary bodies.
Excellent. Okay.
And it was part of the letting go process, Sal. It was like I'd let go of the house. I've got a good price for my house. My next door neighbour was actually going to give me $2 grand for the car when I got back, because my plan was I was going to go off to India, but the car was a write-off, so I left it in France, got the train home, and when I got back to the UK, it turned out that my father was ill. He had cancer, and he was my mum's carer. She had Alzheimer's. So I ended up putting my travel plans on hold for 2 years and moving in with my parents in a caring role, but going away for trips. So I did like a tour of Egypt. Then I went to like Guatemala and Mexico.
Okay, so you went to all of these exotic places, destinations, when you were living at home with mom and dad, and okay. So, Lakhi, I want to ask you, because obviously this is exciting, and it's nice to know somebody who has got the guts and the courage to break away from what is regarded as the norm. So, Lakhi, did you ever find yourself in a situation where, apart from the fact you're saying because of your parents, it'd be difficult for you to, but in your early days, you did go to Europe, and you were there, and you, if I'm not wrong, you were cooking food to make ends meet. So is that as exciting as going out to a vineyard? Or did you go to the vineyards there in Italy?
Well, I'm a teetotaler, so it wasn't really my cup of tea. But I did actually have a similar sort of epiphany sort of thing, where I thought I've got to go and travel and actually see the world a bit when I was about 22. So I did go and live in Italy for about 4 or 5 months on a sort of similar sort of trek, where I sort of contacted about 20 different people I'd met in London, and then had so many invites for me to go and visit them all. So I actually booked a 2-month session in Florence to learn Italian. I also visited various friends across the whole of Italy, in Rome, Pisa, sort of North Italy, Venice, Sardinia. So I sort of did it all in one go, rather than bits. So
okay,
I thought
I've got a shout out. I've got to give a shout out to all the people who've given us a hi. We've got Sajal, as usual, Cam. We have 2 Cams. We've got a Cam Ali and a Cam Patel, and we've got Rina and John Smith and Amar and anybody else? And nobody else. Right. So we've got all these people saying good morning, good and hi to everybody, giving it a shout out. Okay. Right, Deborah. So now you're with mom and dad. You found out they're not well. So 2 years. What was it 2 years for? Why not 6? Why not 10? Why 2 years? Why did you stay with them?
Dad had been given the all clear with his cancer. He'd recovered.
Excellent.
And I realised it had become a bit of a codependency.
Mm-hmm.
And I put care package in place, and if they chose to take that up. And what had happened was I've gone to Spain to do a detox retreat in the May of 2013.
So you were curing yourself of what is it?
No, I wasn't curing myself of anything. I was really, really healthy, but you know, it's important to do regular cleanses to pull toxins out of the body because we get a build up.
Okay.
Yeah, and when I was on that retreat, we had like somebody zoomed in from New Zealand who was doing a talk on the journey of the soul, and one of the guys on the course that I was doing said, "Hang on a minute, mate, how do you know all this then?" And you know, the trainer said, "Well, I've actually had direct experience of it when I was in the Amazon rainforest working with the sacred plant medicines, and that really piqued my interest and my intuition was kicking in." And I invited this guy to come to Manchester, bearing in mind he's in New Zealand. And I said, if ever you come to the UK...
So you were making a comparison between the Amazon forest and Manchester, in particular Winslow Road, maybe?
No, I wasn't making any comparison. Oh. It was my intuition was telling me to take note of what was going on. And I said, because I was an event manager, I've been like organising spiritual events for many, many years, and personal development events, business events. And so I invited him to come to Manchester, and he said, well, I'm actually coming over in June. This was the following month. He said, I'm doing some talks in London, so I can come to Manchester. I said, cool. So when I came back to the UK after this detox,
were you sober when you came back from Spain, or was it you came back from Spain? You say from the detox?
Yeah.
Okay, so you came back, and he was coming to Manchester. So you, well, he was coming to London, but you invited him to Manchester.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay, so he came back. So you came back, and then what happened?
I came back, and I started to, like, I found out about a retreat that was going on in the Peruvian Amazon rainforest. I've been on the mailing list for an organisation, and they were actually organising a retreat. And when I read it, this guy who I'd been talking to on Skype was actually one of the facilitators on this retreat, and I had no idea that was happening. And then what had happened was my sister had come back from Brazil, and she brought me and my other 4 sisters crystal bracelets back.
Excellent.
And she said, Deborah, there's a bracelet here that just I had to buy for you. She said, I know that you need this bracelet. She said, I'm going to put all 5 out on the table and see which one you're drawn to. So she lays them out on the table. And then as soon as she put one of them down, I'm like, it's this one, it's this one. What is this stone? It's one that I'd not seen before. Well, when she told me, I nearly got through the floor. It was Amazonite. I thought, there we go.
Amazonite. Okay.
Amazonite.
Is that talking of Amazonite? Now, excuse me, go over to Mr. Singh. Is that the same as kryptonite? Because I know you lose your powers when you have kryptonite thrown into your bathtub, or either put into one of the pockets of your suits. Is that the same, Lakhi? Are you up for kryptonite?
I'm not sure what that's meant to mean. I think you should carry on with the interview with Deborah.
No, I am going to continue with the interview. I'm trying to work out, because she says it's Amazonite. I'm trying to work out, is that the same as a kryptonite that takes your superpowers away?
Not at all, no. I think she's talking about a stone. I think you're talking metaphorically. They're 2 different things.
And I'm talking about kryptonite, as in from the planet Krypton, where...
Yeah, so I don't think anybody understands what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, right, okay. So we'll come back to Deborah now. So you put your hand on the Samsonite. Before we continue where you're putting your hand, we are going to give a shout out to Cam. It's going to be in tomorrow. She's going to be on live with us, just like Deborah today. Actually, Deborah, I think we need to have you on more regularly, because You seem like a fascinating young lady, and I've got lots of things to learn. And yes, so you were putting your hands on something, you said? You put them on a piece of Amazonite. Right, okay. And what happened then?
When things happen in threes, it's like we send ourselves signals and signs, and it's like, take note of this, right? So I knew that I needed to go to the Amazon. It was like an inner knowing. And so I booked a one-way ticket to Peru. I thought, there's no point booking a return flight because I know I won't come back. So I just decided I was going to go to Peru. I was going to go to Machu Picchu because it had been on my vision board for 8 years. And the other thing that I booked was the retreat in the Amazon rainforest, living with the Shipibo tribe, way away from, like, far away from any civilization. Is
that the, what's it now? Apocalypto, that's it. Adaka. Is that the same people?
I don't know.
We don't see the movie Apocalypto?
No.
Oh, you've not seen it? You must see that. It is actually about the tribes of the Amazon. It's back in the old days when they used to worship the sun god. So I don't know if you said, did you go and see those towers that they used to worship on, etc.?
I saw a lot of the when I was in Guatemala and Mexico, I visited a lot of the sites there, the big pyramids.
That's right, the pyramids at where they used to worship their sun god.
Yeah.
So, but okay, so you've not seen the movie Apocalypto. You must see the movie Apocalypto. It'll be very. You probably recognize lots of little hangouts and spots that you were living at. Okay, so you went to a place called Macedonia, you say? What's the place called?
Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu. Right, okay. So you get to Machu Picchu. What happened?
Machu Picchu.
And you too, yes.
Famous site in Peru, so it's like a big Mayan temple complex at the top of like these mountains. It's so beautiful.
That's probably the one.
And then I spent time. Yeah, I spent time in the Amazon rainforest as well, and I ended up spending.
It's been very difficult because the rainforest. It's very humid. The atmosphere, the climate, the temperature. How did you get used to it? What did you go through in the acclimatization process? Were you sort of like sitting for weeks at a time, drinking lots of water to bring up your metabolism and your liquid levels? How did you just jump in from the humidity of Burnley to the humidity of the Amazon? How did you cope?
You just get on with it. You just do it. It was like a 7-hour journey down the Amazon River to actually get where we were going to, to this little village. And there's no running water, no electricity, no running water. But you're living completely in harmony with nature.
Excellent.
With the Amazon rain.
Just want to know, because there's lots of things you're missing out there, which I'm sure must have been exciting. The 7-hour trip down the Amazon. And I assume this is not the Amazon that delivers pizzas to you. We're talking about the Amazon River. Is that the one?
That's the one.
Okay. So did you get any pizzas delivered en route? Were you stopping off at local petrol stations or boat stations, as they're probably called? Oh, did you see any crocodiles, any snakes? Did you see, orangutans? What did you see on the way down?
Well, I was on a boat. It was like an open top boat with a motor on the end of it.
Cruising. A bit like Lakhi Singh cruises out on his Bentley on the weekend, open top boat, giving it the high five. Is that right?
No.
Okay. What is it like?
Do you know, it was really beautiful. I mean, I just like to be in the moment and just to take everything in. And I was going on this journey with 17 other people. And so we were getting to know each other on the boat trip. We were going to be spending time together, you know, in ceremony and living in these huts. And it's like you're going down there and you're thinking, wow.
Living in cups, did you say? You're living in cups, did you say? Wasn't that a bit hot?
They've got cups that are on stilts.
So they must have made big cups that you were living in. So they were living in huts the other way around, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see any crocodiles? That's my question.
No.
Did you see any snakes?
No.
Okay. Well, I've deflated my requirement. Anyhow.
Do you see any elephants?
Did you see any elephants in the Amazon? In Peru? Are there any elephants in Peru? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, we bathe twice a day in the Amazon River, you know, and like one of the boys in the village, actually, he had a big lump out of his leg, and when I asked what had happened, he'd been attacked by piranhas. So we were like bathing in here twice a day and swimming and having fun, and
with the piranhas. Yeah. With the piranhas, well, they probably knew you were from Burnley. They didn't want to actually end up you biting them. Yeah.
They need to stay away.
Pardon?
They need to stay away from me.
They need to stay. That's what I'm saying. The piranhas probably realised that you're from Burnley, and they didn't want to actually take a risk in biting you.
That's right.
Getting you back. Okay, so you were twice a day skinny dipping in the Amazon. How long for? What happened? Okay, you were bathing. Okay, you were bathing. Yeah. Yeah. So what happened then? How long did you stay there for? What happened?
I was in the Amazon for 17 days. And it was during that time, you know, we did 5 ceremonies with the sacred plant medicines. And it's during that time that I sort of had an experience of my multi-dimensional nature. You know, I could see beyond the veil of illusion. I could see the sacred geometry all around me, and I could see how every thought I had was a seed of creation, and how that was actually brought down into the physical. And so it gave me it answered a lot of questions for me. I had a life review. I could see, you know, a lot about the lessons in my life. And it gave me a deeper understanding of our divine nature.
Excellent. Okay, I'm just going to switch across to Lakhi and find out whether he's done anything as exciting in Berkeley Square. Did you go out in Berkeley Square, Lakhi Singh, with your shorts on? And did you find the essence of the sexy fish bar giving you a realization or a check about the reality of Berkeley Square in Soho?
No.
Okay, so obviously Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, seems very boring to me today. I'm coming back to Deborah. Deborah, now you've become somewhat immersed in 3-dimensional or 6-dimensional energy fields. You're picking up everything left, right, and center. You can see through the underwear of everybody, apparently, or you can see through people's clothes and stuff, and through the walls. What happened? How many days was that going on for?
Well, that's an interesting projection, actually, Sal. No, I didn't have superpowers in able to see through people's clothes.
Okay, I was just thinking, because I'm just planning to go out there myself, so that I can get those superpowers, come back and enjoy, life. Anyhow, but okay, you saw energy and the existence of energy around you. That's what you experienced. How many days were you there for? 7, was it? 70. 70 days. And was this happening every day?
17.
17? Okay. So was this happening for every day of those 17 days?
No.
Were you always in a trance, and were you sort of like you're like a bit high. What was
Not
it?
at all. No,
Okay.
and it's a very sacred practice. It's a very sacred experience, and it's not something that you do lightly. You know, it's not like what I learned was that plants are teachers, and we need to treat them with respect. And when we can work with the consciousness of plants. Like, for example, when I came back from the Amazon to the UK, I started working with essential oils, which have a different consciousness, and we can use them in many ways for our own spiritual, physical, emotional well-being. And I think, had I not had that experience in the Amazon working with the plants,